In the 2010 Karate Kid film, this film tells of a boy named Trey Parker from America who follows his mother moving to China, whose practices martial arts against Mr. Han because he is always harassed by a child who comes from China is slave because the father always seems to always afford girls who turn out to be girls who are the children of the mother friends. Researchers used interesting and exciting elements to see spatially through this film. Knowing that interesting and exciting elements are the most important part to determine what the purpose of the film is. We apply it through plot, setting, character, conflict, sociological, physiological, and moral. We found that the Parker practiced martial arts because he was always bullied. He was a good person, but the was bullied. From the problem, it led him to a mental problem. Now, knowing what will happen if the Farquhar will continue to be building, finally, Master Han wants to teach him. Thus, to these problems were often needs as problem in light of the consideration of the relevant things. What are the composition of the interesting element used in the Karate Kid 2010? How will the content of the Karate Kid 2010 film can be evaluated in relation to the extrinsic element of cinema study?
Research method. The research method of this research paper will be broken down into five aspects. For number one, object of the study. The object of the study is Steve Parker in Karate Kid movie. Number two, type of the study. The type of this research is the descriptive qualitative. Descriptive qualitative is a type of research which are in the form of written or oral words from the observed object. Number three, the type of the data in the data search. There are two sorts of data, namely primary and secondary data search. Primary data search. The primary data search is the Karate Kid movie. For the secondary data search is the author's biography, essay, comment, homepage, and website about the movie and other relevant search. For technique of the data collection, the data collecting technique used in the study is the library research. The necessary steps are as follows: watching the movie repeatedly to get a deep understanding, reading some related books to find out the theory, data, and information required, taking notes of information in both of primary and secondary data, and arranging the data into the several parts based on its classification, and drawing conclusion based on the analyzing data. For number five, technique of the data analysis. The technique that is used in analyzing data is descriptive qualitative analysis of content analysis. The reader gets the data from watching the movie in order to have the deep understanding. In secondary data, the writer used an individual physiological theory proposed by Alfred Adler.
Hello, good evening everyone. I'm going to analyze about intrinsic element of the film Karate Kids 2010. As we know, the Karate Kids 2010 is remake of the film Karate Kids 1984. The intrinsic element includes are the plot, the setting, the characters of place, theme, and conflict. The plot tells about a mother and his son move from Detroit in Michigan to Beijing in China. His son found difficult to adapt of his new environment, and the setting taken locates off in Beijing, China, and Detroit in Michigan. Character of plays are Andre or Drew Parker, played of played is a pro-antagonist character, and Cheng is played a character of antagonist. A theme of the film tells about martial martial arts martial arts, and the conflict of the film. There are some conflict in the film, such as number one, when Dre and his mother moved from Detroit to Beijing, China, he feels strange. He feels strange because he he need he need to adapt of his new environment. And number two, when Master Lai refuses to make peace, he wants Dre and Cheng rival in the competition, while Dre has not skilled martial arts.
The conclusion for this presentation about our movie Karate Kid. So the Karate Kid is directed by Harold Zwart. This film was released in 2010 and has four intrinsic elements are included in the film, like plot, character, setting, and a theme. There are several focus characters in the film, namely Mr. Han and Audrey Parker. The theme of the film action is drama, yes, about action and family. The extrinsic element of the film are aspects of sport, athletes, and struggles. So for the setting of this film is in China. The Ray Parker teenager son moved because of the demands of his mother, Sherry Parker, job, and they began to be required to learn Asian culture. When they were foreigner there because they were not native to Asia, including studying martial arts, which became the most inherent culture in China. So there was romance that arose and made him enthusiastic to prove his ability in self-defense against the bullies right there. So yeah, for the message in this film about this film is every time you are knocked down, you get back up, never give up. Even if you fail and fall, still get up, because result will stop not when we fail but when we stop trying. Thank you.